People join Toastmasters for so many reasons. Some because they want promotion or change their job. Some want to change their whole career or start a business. Some want to just meet people and engage in the community. And I was completely fed up with what was on telly. I mean, what about developing my public speaking? It's not that I had a fear of public speaking. I was completely petrified of saying my name in a room of 5 people, especially if I didn't know one of them. But the idea of actually becoming confident, well, that wasn't something that could actually happen to someone like me. So I didn't really think that was a possibility. But when I saw the website for this club that was in Ipswich, I thought, well, it looks like I might be able to stop the churning that's going on in my stomach. That would be helpful. Maybe I'll pick up a tip or 2. And if none of that works, looks like there might be some interesting speeches to listen to. And that's better than what's on the box. So I went along, very, very nervous, but found a nice place and decided to join. And soon enough, I was giving my first ever icebreaker. Now, a little bit of background. Toastmasters has an education program called Pathways. Within it, there are multiple paths, and you choose a path. But whatever path you choose starts off with an icebreaker before you carry on and go through up to 5 levels. There's 5 levels in every path, projects within each path, and you get an award at every level. So that's nice. But there was my icebreaker. I wrote it, I practiced it, I delivered it, I sat down and thought, I want the ground to swallow me up. I was so embarrassed. I thought this is going to be the worst speech anybody's ever seen in a club. They're probably going to ask me to leave. It's not really worth staying. You know. But my evaluator came back and gave me some feedback. And apparently, not everything I did was awful. There were some good things in it. And she gave me a point for improvement that was possibly manageable. She said I should look at the audience instead of just at the floor all the way through my speech. So speech by speech, I gained confidence. Speech by speech, I felt a little bit more comfortable standing up in front of people. And also with doing the roles. I did timer quite a lot because you only have to speak a few times and not too much, but it does make you part of the meeting. And I had buttons to press, and I was a software developer, so I can press buttons. That was my wheelhouse. I could do that. So there I was, developing step by step. But there was one speech I did, and I sat there and I thought, that was fun. That can't have been me who thought that. Maybe it was. I started to feel that I could do more. But things were starting to affect my work as well. The meetings that I was supposed to run, because it was my team, I was no longer delegating the running of the meeting. I was no longer delegating the presentations that I was supposed to be doing. But somebody else might say, well, if you do the presentation, I'll do it, I'll present it for you. That happened quite a few times. But this time, I was doing those. And it was helping me lead my team as well, giving better appraisals from the skills I'd learnt in evaluations. And the active listening was helping me sit down and work out requirements with other people when I had to sort out the software development requirements. So I was listening, I was summarising in a much more effective way. The speeches helped me develop the skills, but they also expanded what I could do. There were things like presenting and using software to present. There were things like facilitating discussions and even managing a difficult audience. Because in Toastmasters, are all really, really nice, aren't we? We sit and we listen and we learn to sit and be really well behaved.
Not always.
Look, this isn't that project, Erica. So there is one where we have actually people role playing, and it's such fun. But you learn how to deal with those people in the real environment. At this point, as I carried on my journey, I came to a point where I wanted to change jobs. In securing a new role, yes, my software skills were critical, but I also know that because I was asked to stand up and present some of my ideas in my interview, that my presentation skills were critical to getting that job. That would never have happened without Toastmasters. And when it came for one of our suppliers who said, "We'd love your company to come and present at our user group and show what you've been doing with our software," they said, "Julie, you should do that." And I said, "Yes, please." Now, that wasn't the person who first walked into that meeting. And sometimes I find it hard to remember that. But it's good to see. Since then, I've taken on more roles. The education programme encourages you to take roles on the committee and above and beyond, helping support other clubs as well. And I was in one of those roles when I decided that actually I'd had enough of software development and I was changing my career entirely. So now I help women speak about their business. And some of it comes from Toastmasters, but a lot of it also comes from what I've learned from other members and the speeches they've given, which have inspired me to go and explore more things about business, self-development, and just general interest things, so I understand people more than I did. So overall, Toastmasters has allowed me to stretch myself. It's never been more than I can handle. But I'm in a place I can never have seen myself when I started. It's a great place to challenge yourself, to use the failure, the F word, and to learn from those experiences. And whatever you do, it can always be fun. So I plan to keep on going and have a lot of fun on the journey. This is Toastmasters.